finish recording, and I'll give you a private YouTube link so you can have it. And I don't know if do you want to do that on your phone?
This is her phone. I always copy, do her lessons.
Okay.
Mom's not the best recorder.
Okay, do I have anybody else who's good at it? Yeah. Do you want my phone?
Mom gets distracted by watching, so.
So I wonder if I can turn it to like do not disturb. I don't even know how to do that. Do you want to do that? Okay, you can turn it to do not disturb. Because what happened in the one video that we were doing of you, it was really good. You were fun. Yeah. Oh, excellent. Yeah. Because that was like such a good video the first time I put it on something, and then my phone rang. So as long as you can, this is one of the boring things that you have to record the whole thing. So, and I should be doing the frame. Okay, so tell me a little bit. What's your name again? Nicole, and his name? Roscoe. And what grade is he? Excellent. So tell me about you and him.
Well, we've been together since he was kicking his mother's stuff.
Oh, excellent. So he's yours through and through. Okay. How old is he now?
12 in June.
All right. And what brings you here to me today?
We've been together for 12 years. We still have our communication things. And because we've been together so long, we both, have been,
You have your own relationship, right? And it's like,
we each get away with stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So we need to but there's stuff he gets away with that I'm like, no, we need to.
yeah.
We need to start fixing that, the communication between us.
Yes. And there are those things, it's like a marriage, right? That you're like, I know if I do this, he's going to do that, and this is great, the way things are going to go. So here's what I always tell people who have not been with me before. It's going to sound pretty different than a regular massage lesson. If you have questions, please ask me. This is meant to be a conversation, it's not a lecture. So if I'm going down the rabbit hole of something and you're like, I do not get it, please tell me. When I ask you questions, they're really designed to figure out what you are feeling in your body and noticing at that moment versus getting the right answer. If you don't know, you're allowed to say, I don't know. And if you say, I think it's this, great. We might change that thinking later on. So what we'll do at the beginning here is I'm going to watch you guys go a little bit this direction and warm up a little, and then I might start with some questions. And just for now, let's hang out kind of also those events because the breeze feels really nice and any history of injury or anything I should know about for you or for him?
No.
Okay, super. That's always nice.
If you asked me a few years ago, I would have had issues, but luckily I'm better now.
He is so adorable. All that phone. Oh my goodness.
And he gives it to his babies.
Oh, that's cool.
We're
Until you started grunting, I almost forgot you were Italian, buddy.
No, that's a cow front.
Yeah.
Our other cows.
So let me just have you half circle reverse and let me watch you walk the other direction for a second. Like I want to go back by 180, so I got to stop. And then you can go ahead and draw rising and let me see where we go from there. So, first question, do you feel like you're in charge of the speed of the trot, or is he in charge of it?
At the beginning, it's him.
Yeah. So he says, I would like to be in charge, and then we would perhaps like to get the arrow a little more in favor of you being in charge, right?
Yeah, I'm a wrestler, so it always takes a minute for me to get him to be like, I'm in charge.
Yes, so come across a little short diagonal and change lane. So let me see you go the other way, and then we're going to start asking some questions. rising, how much of your body weight feels like it's in the stirrups versus your thighs? 50-50 being equal. What would you say?
Probably not quite equal. Probably more in the stroke than thigh.
Okay.
Because he's kind of wanting to be on the forehand right now, pulling me.
So, does it feel like it's equal right to left, or is that different?
This way is always far away from me because he never wants to get into the outside ring this way.
Okay,
So I always put on even this way.
so going left is more difficult for him, and that makes you feel uneven.
Yeah.
So does that feel like you have more weight in one stirrup versus the other stirrup?
When he's really bad, I think I have more on the outside.
And I mean right now. What's happening right now?
Right now, it's not too bad right now.
Okay. So change rein again, and let me see you trot the other way. I'm going to come back out in the corner here so I can see you coming toward me and away from me. Does the weight still feel heavier in the feet versus your thigh?
Not as bad.
Okay. And does the weight feel equal right foot to left foot?
Probably a little lighter inside.
A lighter inside foot than outside?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to have you come around in front of the rail here by me, and we're going to halt parallel to the rail, and we're going to start making some adjustments to your body here before we go to the we're going to fix the thing here at top. Alright, so go ahead and roll. Very good boy. Anything I can know about him farm around him? County wide, you see everything all over the place. Okay, well, I don't like that. One thing weird about using my middle. Okay, so are you comfortable just making one hand? You can take your feet on the first one, and you can put your legs in front of you. Alright, so does that give you a pretty clear sense of where your feet bones are? Okay, and right now, would it make sense if I told you yourself is pretty parallel to the floor? Yeah, alright, so I'm going to take your leg one leg at a time, so I leave the other one there. And just let it hang in my hand, okay? So this seems like a fairly natural thing for your side to be rotated out. It's very different. So I'm going to take your leg and we're going to rotate out first, because that's kind of easy, right? And then I'm going to rotate it in. So what I really want, there's a tendon here that runs to the inside of your knee, up your side, yeah, that's sorry, that's uncomfortable. And we're going to rotate that part of you onto the board and get your hamstring out of the way. Okay? So let me get up in there a little bit and get your hamstring out slowly to the side. Yep. And then we're going to rest your foot on the strap. So now that's a different feeling from your side of your foot. So what would you say now if you put a number on how strong is your thigh versus the weight of your foot? Okay. So really we're going to have ideally more weight in your thigh, up to 80% of your weight in your thigh and 20% in your foot. Okay? And sometimes the challenge is, especially the shape of your horse, right? You don't have a lot of horse in your horse, there's not a lot there. Where your leg wants to hold on. And really your leg wants to hold on here a lot. Okay? So if your calf does this much holding on, your thigh can't get stronger. We need your thigh to get stronger to support the weight of your torso. Okay? Especially if you're sitting. So, can you allow a little space, a little breathing room between your calf and the horse? And I'm going to have you put both your reins in the right hand. Let me hold it for a second. Take your index and middle finger in here. And rotate your thigh on while you put your hands towards your thigh. Oh, so that's the way that you can engage that without me, without an arm here. Okay? And then this is softer. Okay? So we need to take a little bit of this grip out of the meaty part of your calf and put it into the rotation of your side. Okay? You're going to have this back. We're going to try the other one. So let me have this side. Okay. So I'm going to rotate it out first. Like whatever. Oh, and this is definitely tighter. This is definitely a little harder to move this leg at all, right? So try not to help me with it. Let me do it. That's an adult thing that we all do. And now we're going to rotate it toward the board. We're going to get that hamstring out of the way. Find the inner thigh in here. Again, notice on your calf right now doesn't have to grip. It's not here. And we're going to rest in the stirrup. And I'm not entirely sure that your stirrup is in when you pick it up for a second. So I'm going to measure your stirrup to your lap. Oh, here's Aaron. Okay. So if you didn't know that, that's an easier way of looking around or whatever. You just out on those and measure the distance from the slack to the top of the stirrup. Then you're measuring to the side of it, making crooked, you're crooked, or whatever. Okay, so is it easier for one side to stay on than the other? Yes, the left thigh goes, oh, I can rotate it. And already now the right thigh is like, I can rotate out. Can I rotate out some more? So I'm going to take it again. Push your ankle toward me. Yeah. So careful that you don't touch your butt as you do that. So that's a difficult thing to do. Now do the fingers in the palm here. Pull your right thigh just right here. Careful again, you don't touch your butt with it. So we want to rotate your thigh, not squeeze your bottom. Okay? Yeah. So when you're riding around, even at a trot, you can do this. You can put both reins in your left hand, wrap your right fingers in the palm. There's a couple other ways to do this. So if you make a fist with your right hand, cross the palm, put it on the skirt, go right hand here. Okay? And now switch hands, take your right hand on the reins and right hand hold it there. And now just make your left fist here and right thigh to left fist. Does one of those work better than the other? Okay, so when we're going around, if you want, you can just go left fist into the palm and we're releasing on your right side across the back. Okay? Alright, so one more thing we're going to talk about before we move on is what we call bear down. So this is how you engage your core. I'm going to put one hand on your front and one hand on your back. And just let it continue. And now I want you to pull your tongue in, make a wall. So I feel like you're already resisting me. Let it all go. You just pull in first. Yes. Now push against me. Yes. Good. So you have the ability to switch that on pretty well. I think what's going to be a bigger deal for you is pulling in to make a wall, right? And I totally resonate with that. I've been singing my whole life and it's like, I can be big, right? But you've got to pull that from in. And it's like you're going to charge you up a little tighter. Like I said this to one of the riders a couple visits ago, it's like you need to get a little tighter body so that we're getting you more defined front and back wall in your torso box. And that really goes all the way around your whole pelvis, right? So like we're just going to wrap this up a little tighter, right? Yes, and so it's hard when you are feeling like you get stuck somewhere. What is too tight, but what is to let go? And sometimes the word loose isn't helpful because if we get you looser and you're talking around too much, you have a small horse to sit on, right? So keep the rotation of the right side. I think that's a big deal. I mean, walk on, buddy. They're biting everyone ankles, mine too. And so we have to make sure that use your leg to stay go forward, that you're not taking your thigh off. So rotate your thigh on, think of turning your spurs a little bit away from him for a moment. Yeah, heels away, spurs away. Good. And I'm going to have you halt briefly before we do another walk on. So I'm going to put my hand under your leg for a second. So when you say go, and you say go by pressing here, right in your calf, and it's a quick push and release, because so much of this wants to be involved, okay? And part of that is your shape versus his shape. But ideally, if you can keep your thigh on, you should be able to say, go, and release. Oof, it's hard, but long on. I might need another dash of fly spray on my legs if someone can get fly spray for me. Good. Cool. No wonder the words are talking. So, it's a quick push of the calf and let it go. Yeah. And I want you to be mindful of how much he moves you laterally, left to right, left to right, left to right. as the front, yes? Okay? So, keep your thigh on and a quick ask to follow on with your quick pass. Quicker, quicker, take it off quicker. Yeah. And then if you need to add a little bit from there. So while you are toasting, keep the thigh on. How's the weight in your foot compared to earlier? Lighter, yes. Can you put a number on the change? If numbers are not your thing, you can say, 50-50 might be where you got before. Okay, good. So at least we're chipping away at it, right? And if numbers are not your thing, you can tell me, that's fine. Keep the thigh rotate on. Good. And I want to come out in the corner and see you a little bit from the other side. So keep that circle. And you feel like this is the easier way for him to go, correct? Yep. It's probably easier for your right thigh to stay snug on when it's on the inside. Okay, so I want you to change rein again. And I want you to notice what's happening in your right thigh. And can you keep it as firm, as solid, as connected when you go to track that? Is that a bigger deal when you go this way? Do you feel like more of him goes against your left leg when you go left?
Yeah.
Yes. So that maybe makes it harder for your right thigh to rotate on because he is not as filled up in your right thigh. He's more filled up against your left calf. And you can always tell me if I'm wrong. I'm on track. Keep the right thigh rolled on. Good. And what this is doing is getting you to land much more in the middle of him. When we first started, you weren't quite landing in the middle going this direction. Oh, I know, things are happening. Good. Keep the right thigh rolled on. This is better in your calf though. And when you have to say keep trotting, I want it to be a quicker little moment of yes, good. Keep the thigh rolled on. How switched on is your tummy engagement?
Not enough.
Not enough, okay. So keep the tummy wall and keep the bear down, push against the wall. And remember, we're not expecting right now to be like 10 out of 10 the best you've ever done. But I want you to feel like there is a wall. And it might help you feel like the wall is deeper than your skin. Okay? Good. Good. That's different in him already, yes? Yeah, and for you, what you need when you feel like you need the core, you need more wall. You need to feel like there is a solid edge to the front of your body. Good. Very good. Change direction one more time. Keep both of your thighs on as you change lane. Feeling like you're pushing your hips toward your hand. Because there's every now and then a little feeling of your hand coming back toward your hip. Yes? Good. Keep the narrow movement in the front of your tummy. So we're keeping that wall. I'm going to talk to you in a minute about which muscles are doing what. Yeah, this is better than the trot. Keep the wall and push against the wall as you rise and rotate it right side. Good. 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 And then come back to the walk. Good. Let me have a little break for a second. What does that feel like compared to normal? More engaged in you and him, or?
Yeah, both of us more connected and working together.
Yes, good. So more connected, working together, more engaged. What did you have to do to make that change? Or what did you change to make that happen?
The biggest thing was the core.
Yes, the core.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So when you were able to engage the core more deeply, it made it easier to rotate your thigh on. So just halt for a moment. We're going to have a little discussion on what muscles are doing what here. So if you think about your six-pack muscles, the rectus abdominis, they're vertical muscles. The transverse abs are behind that, and they're horizontal muscles that come around you like a portrait. So it's like this engagement of the wall is actually an inch behind your skin because it's behind, it's deeper than these muscles here, okay? So for me, you know, I resonate with this very personally. It's like I have to stitch this part of me deeper and narrower so that my wall is more solid, so that I can ride my big horse and giant gates, right? But I mean, he's a small horse, he's got a lot of movement, right? Okay, little buddy. So let him walk a circle for a minute, just because he's very hot and breathing hard. But even this, notice how the right leg would roll out. So the more you put brain space on that, even when you're taking a break, the more you can start to change it when you're doing hard things. So this is a time when we're not, as we're walking around, letting it come breather. We're not working hard cardiovascularly, right? But you can use that brain space to go, do I have a tummy wall? And a little push against the tummy wall. And can I keep my right eye rotated on? And you can just walk and breathe for a minute. And you too can breathe behind that wall you have created. So anatomically, your diaphragm does move behind your abdominal muscles. So we want to be careful that if we're working on building this wall, that you don't just suck in. Okay? Because you can do three things. You can be sucking in only, you can be letting it all hang out, or you could put your tongue in the wall and put your tongue against that wall. And so we want version number 3, right? So rotate that right thigh on. It may help you to think of your right knee has to point to his left ear. Yeah, that's a big angle, but that's how much change your right thigh needs, okay? So we're going to think right knee to his left ear. And then try to keep your thighs in control of how much side to side your seatbelt goes. Yes. And he's like, so, if your seatbelts do a lot of lateral movement left to right and left to right, and you know, different horses are going to move you different amounts, but you're kind of losing energy out the sides of him, which could be channeled over the top of him instead, right? So ideally, you want as much of the energy as possible coming up and over the back, not side to side. Not when we're trying to ride out straight line. So take up your reins here. Good. And I want you to feel, well, let me answer this question first. If we're talking about your armpits, do you feel like your armpits are closed at the front or closed at the back? Yes. Can you close your armpits at the back? Oh, very nice. Okay, so that totally changes the energy of your connection. And he has convinced you that closing your arms to the front is very easy. So, armpits closed to the back is an easy change for you to make. Right thigh to his left ear. Good. Limit the side to side. And how do we limit side to side? Thighs on, yes? Good. Now take trot again. Keep your armpits. Good. And that was so much more organized in your transition up to trot. Yeah, very good. Keeping the thigh on. And does it make sense that this is a closed circuit from the amount of weight in your foot versus your thigh? So if your thigh comes off, your feet will get heavier. Okay? If your foot gets heavier, it may be because your thigh came off. Good, yeah. So now put a number on thighs and feet here.
75.
75, 25, I like it. I can tell it was different. Well done. Well done. Keep the wall. Keep the ball, yeah. And so he is very much noticing what you're doing here. Even though it's a small change from the wall, kind of just gradually getting a little soft and mushy. Keep the wall. Rotate the right thigh. Very good. Very good. And now transition back down to walk. Keep the right thigh. Yes, because it would have been very easy for the right guy to just come on off in the down transition.
Yeah, that was much nicer.
Very good. Okay, we're going to take another quick little walk break. And just change the range on your walk. And then we'll go into the trot to the left before we get answering. Tell me what's kind of at the front of your brain space as you're riding around in that new place.
It doesn't feel awkward.
Good.
You know, you would think it would.
Yes, so it does not feel awkward even though it's definitely different.
Yeah. Allie hit on the
Oh good, so you've already heard the opposite thing. Yes, don't forget. Yes. Oh, I know what you mean. And it's just so useful to have a person on the ground to keep you in check, so to speak, right? And video can be super helpful, so it's nice that we've got someone who can video for you. All right, so again, we're going to shorten up the rein. Make sure the right thigh, when it's on the outside, is still coming into that angle of right knee towards left ear. I'm going to come outside the circle here so that I can see you guys. Sorry, I'm going to walk in front of our video and come over here to this corner. So when the right thigh is on the outside, it may have to work harder to point to the left ear. And you can always tell me if it's not harder. If you're like, oh, no, it's easy. Sometimes I just need validation.
But I can tell it's working because he's slowing down.
Yes.
If it's the right thing, he goes that's hard.
Yes, so when you do the right thing, you're more in charge of the speed of his legs. And less of you is sloshing out the side. So when you get your right thigh on, it's really helping to keep you in the center of him so that you're riding his long back muscles back to front rather than slipping off of the edges of them. Take trot again, keep the arms as close as the back. Boy, look who's in charge of the speed of the horse's legs now. Well done. You said no, don't do that until I ask you. Keep the thigh on in the transition. Oh, that's all right, we're not mad at it. Yeah, right? So we're not going to say that was wrong, but it was so well done. So just go back to walk. And we might be getting into something here of that you perhaps don't normally engage this much in the trot. That it might be easier for you to engage that much in the canter. So as you stand up like that, are you feeling something start to go? Yeah? So try to breathe and send air into the tight place. And still keep as much rotate of the right thigh on as you can.
Now the right one. Left one, now straight.
Yep. And it's your body going like, wait, I get to slosh left, right. And you're going, no. Alright, so then back to the trot when you can. Aiming the right knee to the left ear, arms as close as the back. Oh, yeah, somebody else is in charge of the gate, not the final phone. Okay, again, like I said, not too bad. So keep the thighs held on, breathe, into the back, and you hold the wall. So, I haven't seen you dance before, so I love that you said, oh my gosh, that's so much nicer. Yeah, and what may be happening here is that your body is just in a different place than usual, and he's like, well, is this canter? I don't understand. So, again, we're not going to get mad at him if he's canter. Because he went forward. But check in, I'm going to come behind you, keep going straight. Check in that you're staying centered over him.
Yeah.
And that when you say go to trot, that you are keeping him perhaps a little more equal, right to left. Don't think too much about bending him left. And then ask for trot again. Yeah, good. Keep your thighs on. Your posting will be in charge of speed by feeling like you've got a wall. Yeah. And as you keep the wall, you can slow your post by staying in the air. Oh, well, look at that. He goes, I don't want to do that. Keep the thighs on, and as much as you can press pause in the up and land like, oh, very good, very good. So you can pause in the up, super. So at the risk of hitting it, go back to how you would have written the chart yesterday. right? And so now he starts to running his flat a little bit, the right thigh rolls on. I think your calf is probably going to grip more, yeah, and then it's who's in charge of what? Now, can you get it back? Rotate your thighs on, find the wall. Find the pause in the rise. Good. Good. So right thigh, pause in the rise. Pause in the rise. Super. Keep the wall. Thighs on. Good. And transition to walk. What's the biggest deal here in the cross? Breathing. Well, and especially like a zillion degree out today.
The control, it's nice for him. It's one of the big things. Big enough for him.
Yes, and the control that you're getting is because you control you.
Yeah.
So it's not you versus him. It's an internal battle we sort of wage with ourselves, right? That you are going, I have a wall, I have thighs, I'm in charge of my body. And then he sort of goes, okay, what do you want next? Right? So we're going to go to camera next. And we're going to keep those things, right? We're going to keep his thighs on, we're going to keep the wall, and we're going to make sure that the right thigh stays rotated. And maybe the opposite of that, yeah? Maybe 3.5 things. You said 2 things about your thighs. Good. So you may ask for the canter depart from the walk. That's fine with me. I'm going to sneak back to the corner again just so I can see the difference of both sides of the leg. Good. Keep the thighs roll on. Breath, breath, breath. Oh, yeah, right? Keep a wall and keep the breath. Thighs on, wall, breathe. Thighs on, wall, breathe. Now when you go to the down transition, keep the thigh on, keep the wall. And then a little bit maybe your hand wanting to go down there in the down transition. I'm going to give you a resistance on that in a moment. Good. So when you come back around here by me again, I'm going to give you a quick resistance on your hand, just to switch a little bit of the muscle group on that's maybe getting lost there in your arms. So when he went canter to trot that time, he got a little hollow, and then your hand went a little bit like, you know, down, right? Like just a little. It wasn't crazy, but hold your reins as you were. And I'm going to give you a little resistance on the top of your wrists. Push up into my resistance. Right? It's pretty easy for me to push you down. Okay? So you need that to switch on and push up. Yes. So this might be feeling like you're holding a heavy tray. Don't drop the silver service. Piece, right? But you've got good, strong connection in your arms and there. So let's go take the canter again. Right? And you know that leg is going to want to go there. Like that's just mine is the left leg. That's that. Aim the right knee to the ear. Good. Feel the wall. And remember, you can breathe behind the wall. Be careful about the side-to-side movement. Thighs on. Oh, yeah. And he's like, no, I want to move you side to side. Good. Thighs on. Keep the wall. And when you feel like you're ready, you canter, keep your thigh on. Keep your bear down wall. That's okay. That's okay. You can go back to walk. And really, you're asking him to be more engaged. And he is like, no, no, no. This is not how I do it. I get by on a flash. I think, right thigh hold on. Keep the tummy wall. Push against the wall when you ask. Yeah, super. So in the down transition, we want to make sure again that the calf is not holding on more than the thigh. And that little bit of resistance on the top of the wrist. Good. Feel the lift in the wrist. Breathe. Lift in the wrist, right? So a little bit down and in your lap there. Let's go back to canter again. You may need less brake pedals to go canter to trot than you think. Okay? So let's go back again. Good. Good. That was lovely. He just lifted right up into you, right? So now think of the wrist a little bit lifted, yes. When you want to trot, just press your thumb into the ring. Oh, that was a whole lot more aid than you needed. Okay? You might be able to just go, just breathe out when you want to trot. Keeping the thighs on, keeping the, oh, right? You can feel that. Lift up into the resistance, good. Yeah. Keep the tummy wall, keep the wrists up. That's better. And you have to feel a bit of continuing to push against the wall in the down transition so that we don't lose to go forward in the downward. Good. Whoops. And his teeth probably going like, don't work on canter drop, right? But sometimes we need to work on canter drop because guess what? We have to canter drop even in the work rate, right? Good. Side on, yeah. Keep the wall. Now breathe. And how much of your hand says low in that? Okay, I think so too. I like the we agree.
When he wants to get him heavy, we kind of like.
And when he wants to get heavy in front, the temptation clearly is going to be the hand to hold it up. Hold it in your armpit instead of your hand. Okay? Good. Oh, that was really good. So the feeling of wrists up, hold the tray, hold the tray, hold the tray. Yeah? And I want you to feel like you're actually going to push it forward. When you, yes. So look at me a second. When you go to trot, feel like you have to push the tray forward. That's better, right? Because you want to kind of pull the tray back into your lap a little too much. Good, lift the tray. Yes. Thighs on. Keep holding the tray. Hold the tray. Yes, hold the tray. Hold the tray. Hold the tray up a little higher. Yes. Yes, hold the tray. That's okay. If he's like, I don't want to shut and slam on the brakes. But hold the tray is a big deal in canter. Way more than in trot, yeah? One more time this direction, we'll walk and change hand. Good. Keep holding the tray. Yes, keep holding the tray. Lift up. Lift up. Good boy. And then we come back to walk. Let him have a little break. So that's not. So much more stable, right? And when it's more stable in you, it's like so much less drama between the two of you, right? So what you said at the beginning about those sort of lines of communication, it's almost like you had a lot of white noise going on, and he was never really sure what channel you were going to be talking on. So when there's more motion this way, he doesn't think so much about the back and front motion. When there's too many things, just a little bit undefined and doing stuff, he's not sure which aid is actually the one you should be listening to. So by building your wall, finding that push against the wall, that stabilizes your pelvis from the amount of left to right you might have. And the thighs are a big piece of that as well, keeping you more in the middle of him versus getting pushed around. And then for you in the canter trot especially, making sure you don't go down. And I would bet this from a history of him wanting to get a little hollow, and you're, maybe in the show, but I think keep your nose down. We're doing this transition FC in front of the judge, right? So let's do a few to the right before we run out of time here. And the right thigh aiming towards left ear here, big deal. Good. And hold that tray. Good. And actually, range would probably be a little shorter, yes. Right? You knew as soon as I said range, you knew where I was after. Step up. Yeah, so closing the fingers is what keeps your range from sliding through. Good. Good. Keep the rotation of your thigh on. Yeah, and I think whatever looking up you've been working on is working. I haven't had to think about it. Until right then. Good. Push the tray out in front of you. Trust that you can be in charge of it with your bare. Oh, yes. Right? Yes. You can control your tummy ball and your thigh and build a shot keeping the tray. Keep the tray out in front of you. Press your thumb into the ring, breathe out, and trot. Yes, so he has to trust that your hand is not going to say, away from you, in a way, right? Like, he's not going to run away in a dirty way at this point in his life, but, you know, he likes to go fast. Keep your thigh on if you can. Wrist up, yes, thigh on. Correct. You could go left hip a little forward here. Yes. Feel the tray, push the tray. That's it. Keep pushing the tray while you're keeping your thighs on. You just sneak behind you for a sec. Good job. Push the tray. Breathe into the down transition. Push air through your body. Yes, yes, but that's the most rounded spin, right? It was almost still too much on the brake pedal, but it was the most round you had. So if you can do that again, I want you to be pushing air through your lips like you're blowing candles out in your down transition. Nice up transition. Feel like you stay organized, and you're going to blow air into your trough. 3, 2, 1, and better in your hand. Good boy. Good boy. Walk and finish. Whew, well done. So tell me, in your own words, what you feel like was a big deal today before we come back and really get marked.
Well, it really helps stability.
Yes, stability is a big one.
And it's just funny how it is really serious here.
Yes. So that, you know, this is, when we talk about like use your quote seat, it is from your bra band to your knees. It's not your butt, right? And so you were able to create more stability, which made you more solid, which takes away the white noise, and then you can listen. And then there's less of this struggle in communicating, right? Versus you going, well, I need a little of this and a little of that, and I use a little here, use a little there. And I think, you know, a big deal too is how much more of your brain space is focused on you instead of him. And that happens a lot when it's a course that we've had for a long, long time. Is we know what to expect, we have these expectations of what, if I do this, he's going to do that, and if he does this, I have to do this. But when you get more brain space focusing on you, the line of communication got a whole lot more clear.
Yeah, because we're in motion. And I got on after frozen, and I was like, oh.
Yeah. So you know, and some, you know, Lauren can get on and get in the field different. I mean, you know that he has that in him, right? But how do we get you to get him to feel that way? It's really by doing less against each other and more within yourself. Super